The message from voters is clear. Let freedom ring, let freedom ring. All that and more now on Graph's Grievances. While Americans appear more divided than ever over politics, voters across the ideological spectrum agree they do not want politicians telling them what they can and cannot do with their body. From Republican strongholds to liberal bastions, voters enshrining abortion rights into state constitutions and punishing Republican politicians promising to restrict the medical procedure. We saw this again last night when voters in Ohio became the latest Republican-dominated state to vote in favor of adding the right to abortion into their state constitution. The ballot measure passing by double digits in a state that former President Donald Trump won twice by healthy margins. Ohio now the 7th state to protect abortion access since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last year. And while abortion rights were not directly on the ballot in Kentucky or Virginia last night, the essential medical procedure was very much top of mind for voters. In Kentucky, Democratic Governor Andy Beshear winning re-election after campaigning on expanding abortion access. Meanwhile, his Republican challenger, Attorney General Daniel Cameron, at one point endorsed a complete ban on abortion with no exceptions for rape and incest. This diabolical authoritarian position proving even too extreme for Kentuckians who voted for Donald Trump over Joe Biden by more than 26 points. Beshear's re-election victory in deep red Kentucky undoubtedly making him a rising star in the Democratic Party that is hemorrhaging support with white working-class voters. And while Beshear is now riding high, thanks in part to his commitment to reproductive freedom, another once promising politician was dealt a huge setback last night after campaigning hard on banning abortion. While not on the ballot, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin promised to implement a new 15-week abortion ban in the Commonwealth should Republicans take control of the legislature. That supposedly reasonable idea proving extremely unpopular with voters who chose to keep Democrats in control of the state Senate and flipped control of the House of Delegates to Democrats. The victories for abortion rights proponents in Ohio, Kentucky, and Virginia are very instructive for Democrats and Republicans heading into 2024 and beyond. Thanks to the Supreme Court overturning Roe, voters now see abortion rights as a proxy for their freedoms. And we know this because even in deep red states where voters have long elected anti-choice representatives and described themselves as pro-life, they are now rejecting politicians calling for abortion bans and voting to constitutionally protect the medical procedure. In other words, many Republicans appear to be saying, I am personally against abortion, but I do not want my freedom to have an abortion taken away from me or my relatives. And this line of reasoning, I think, helps explain why America has largely failed at curtailing gun violence. While voters say they want tougher gun laws, they deeply fear the government taking away their freedom to own a firearm and protect themselves. It turns out, nearly 250 years after the Declaration of Independence was signed, the American people still prize their freedom and don't want the government taking away their rights. Understanding the importance of freedom in the American psyche, I think, will be key to determining whether Democrats or Republicans control the White House after next year's presidential election. Polling clearly shows that President Joe Biden faces an uphill battle if he hopes to win a second term, but if he can convince just enough voters that Donald Trump poses an existential threat to their freedoms, Biden will remain commander-in-chief for 4 more years. Thank you for watching Graph's Grievances. Let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, share, and join me tomorrow for more.